It's that time of year. Today it's pasta with sweet corn in our kitchen. Why we love using this kind of dish in our series is that it allows you to learn about pasta and alternative uses for ingredients that you may not have thought about. A simple ingredient like corn may be something that you've only grilled your whole life or only boiled or steamed your whole life, and I think we're going to show you a different way to get into that. When it comes to choosing pastas, a noodle like this not only will gather the sauce that we have, but little bits of the corn will fall into it, and it's easier on your fork or spoon to eat everything together when you use the right shaped pasta. Get a large volume of rapidly boiling salted water going. Let's talk about why you need all those adjectives. Heavily salted so it seasons. You want a large volume of it because when you put your pasta in, the most important thing that happens is during the first 90 seconds of cooking. The external starches leach out into the water. So if you compact the pasta into a small volume of water, as the pasta cooks, it's absorbing starchy water. The larger the volume of water, the more diffused the starch is and the higher quality product you'll have on the plate in terms of the pasta. I just want to put enough noodle for 2 people. The single most important thing I think you do when you're cooking pasta is 30 seconds after you've dumped it in, give it a nice stir. That stir helps free up any pasta from sticking next to each other and helps release that first wave of starch. Meanwhile, I have a couple of shallots that I've sliced really, really thin. I'm gonna fry these shallots twice. When we cook them this way for 3-4 minutes, the water comes out of them, they soften, and then like good French fries, we're gonna cook them again at a higher temperature just for 10-15 seconds, and they're gonna brown up and get super crispy right away. These are now cooked. Our pasta is probably almost there. A little too al dente. Al dente means to the tooth, a little toothy and chewy. And the reason that I want it really al dente is it's gonna finish cooking a little bit in the pasta sauce. I've drained my pasta. I've kept about a 1/4 cup of the pasta water, and I've drizzled 2 tablespoons of olive oil over it, just so it doesn't get sticky or gummy. So let's talk about how we're actually gonna build this dish. I'm gonna saute my cut corn kernels and my onions with a little bit of chili flake and basil and lots of black pepper. This corn right here is an ancient strain, colorful, but has all of that farm stand sweetness. I have gorgeous farm stand yellow corn that I've juiced that's super sweet, super aromatic. This is the white corn that I've juiced, and you can see the difference. Look at how thin that yellow corn is, and that white corn is so thick and viscous. So this is almost gonna act like our cream in this dish. Now, I have a little bit of cream in the recipe, and I'm actually gonna combine these two because this is going to help make our sauce super corny and super thick and viscous. I love it. A little of this blue corn for accent. Red, white, and blue, I'm a patriot. Tomatoes for acidity. Pecorino Romano, it's a saltier cheese than Parmigiano Reggiano, and I love using it for pasta. Our oil's at 375, so in go our shallots. Give them a couple little tosses. Promote some even cooking. Now that we have all the building blocks, we can start putting together the pasta itself. Chili flake, onion, a little salt to help the onion release its moisture. Add our corn, our little 1/2 cup of blue corn, and we just want to give this a stir and start to cook that. Does everyone know the trick to how to tell that corn is ready? You taste it, which nobody does enough of. That's ridiculous. Wow. Corn juice, white corn juice mixed with a little cream, ground pepper. In the recipe, it calls for boiling the corn juice for 3 or 4 minutes. And then just shake out the pasta, and all we want to do is stir the pasta in that delicious corn sauce. I'm going to take some of my cheese and put it in there. It's gonna cook in the sauce briefly. Remember when we talked about the right pasta shape for the right sauce? Look at all those corn kernels in that sauce made with the corn juice that's now populating the inside of those shells. This took a minute or so to heat through. Take a couple of these beautiful tops and a leaf or two. Let people eat their way through that basil. I just think it's so ridiculously pretty. I've got my halved cherry tomatoes, little sprinkle of cheese, and last but not least, just that little bit of crispy shallot so we have some crunchy texture. All great food is about contrast. You have the sweetness of the corn, you have the spiciness from the chili and the black pepper, you have the acidity from the tomato, you have the saltiness from the cheese. Texturally, it's a contrast, but flavor-wise, it's a complement. This is so ridiculously good, I may have seconds. I'm not even done with firsts yet. Enjoy.